Once upon a time, there was a poor, poor tramp named Gus. Every day, Gus would sit on the corner and beg for change. Now, Gus was a very kind man, and one day he was sitting on his usual corner, minding his own business, when he spotted a poor little girl hanging from the windowsill 5 stories above him.
"Help!
She cried.
Help me!"
Well, Gus knew what he had to do. He leapt to his feet and in the nick of time caught the little girl as she fell. Moments later, the little girl's parents rushed down and burst through the door of the building. "Thank you, oh thank you so much! You saved our baby girl!" the mother cried. "We'll give you anything you want," the dad exclaimed. Gus put the little girl down and sat down to think. "Well," said Gus, "I've always wanted to go on a cruise to the Bahamas." "If that's what you want, that's what you'll get," the father smiled. "Come on, I'll take you to the travel agent." When Gus and the father arrived, the agent was just about to close. "Wait!" yelled the father. "This man just saved my daughter's life, and in return he would like me to buy him a cruise to the Bahamas." The travel agent stopped packing up and went back inside. "Well, there's one that leaves tonight, but there's only one ticket left." "I'll take it. We'd better hurry, son. It says here it leaves in 20 minutes. Gus and the father hopped in the car and drove as fast as they could to the harbor. "Hey, wait a minute. They didn't pay me." When they arrived, Gus thanked the father tremendously. Gus gazed into the distance. The ship was just about to leave. He started to sprint towards it. Wait, Gus yelled. "I have a ticket!" Out of breath, Gus collapsed on the ground in front of the ship and handed his ticket to the captain. Now, this captain, well, quite frankly, he was a bit of a jerk, and he knew that he could not have his first-class passengers seeing a dirty tramp on his ship, so he hatched a devilish plan. "What's your name, sir?" "Gus. You have a ticket, but I can't have my other passengers seeing a tramp on this ship. Here's what we're going to do, Gus. During the daytime, you can stay in your room, sleeping, and during the night, you can roam the ship and do whatever you want." "Sure, I'm just happy to be here at all," Gus laughed. "Good," said the captain. "I'll take you to your room." The two walked up to the ship, and then walked down a floor, and down another floor, and down another, and another, and another, until finally they were at the bottom of the ship. They walked to the end of the hallway and came to the smallest, dingiest room. Gus gasped. "It's perfect!" The captain chuckled and handed Gus a watch. "Now, Gus, when this watch hits 12 a.m., you can go outside your room, and when this clock hits 6 a.m., you have to come back inside. Have fun!" Gus eagerly waited until his clock struck midnight, and then tiptoed out of his room to the top deck. Gus was delighted! He played tennis, went to the gym, watched movies, and just generally had a blast. Gus then walked outside and discovered the pool. And the best part about this pool was the diving board. Gus had always wanted to try one. He took off his watch so as not to get it wet. Gus hurriedly hopped up the steps and jumped off, performing a perfect triple front flip into the water. And Gus loved it. He loved diving. Gus dived and dived and dived until he was so tired he could barely even feel his legs anymore. Unfortunately for Gus, he lost track of time, and 6 a.m. had already passed. The captain walked in with his morning coffee and, to his disbelief, saw Gus out and about instead of in his room. The captain was just about to start screaming at Gus when he stopped and watched him perform yet another 10 out of 10 dive. "Gus, that was amazing! A perfect dive! Have you ever even been on a diving board before?" the captain shouted. "Nope." "That's amazing! Positively amazing! You know what, Gus? I'm going to make you a new diving board. A much higher, larger diving board. It'll be ready for you in 5 days. I'll invite the whole ship to watch you." "Oh boy," thought Gus. He was very excited. For the next 5 days, Gus would sleep during the day and practice diving at night until finally, the big day arrived. Gus woke up and walked up to the deck. Every single member of the boat had gathered around to see this amazing tramp the captain had spoken of. The captain greeted Gus as he walked by, but he was too nervous to care. Gus walked up to the completed diving board. It was so tall. So tall he could barely even see the top of it. Gus gulped and started to climb. He climbed up, and up, and up, past the clouds, past the birds, until he could barely even breathe anymore. Finally, he reached the top. He looked down. The ship was but an insignificant speck on the ocean below him. Gus took a deep breath, worked up the courage, and jumped. Down, down, down he flew. Faster than a train, faster than a bullet, faster than anything. He passed through the clouds, passed through the birds. The ship was growing larger and larger so fast. And finally, with a great splash, Gus entered the water. Everyone on the ship gasped and cheered and clapped. But Gus was going too fast for his own good. He plowed straight through the bottom of the pool, straight through the first floor, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, until finally he exited the boat into the ocean below. He still wouldn't stop. He flew down and down and down until finally he slammed into the ocean floor with a sickening crunch. Gus gasped for air. He couldn't breathe. He swam up as fast as his skinny little legs could carry him, and just when he thought he was about to run out of air, he surfaced. He spied a ladder on the side of the ship and climbed up it. Gus struggled up it and landed on the boat with a cough. The audience gasped. "That was amazing, Gus," cried the captain. "How on earth did you survive crashing through the entire boat?" Gus hopped on up. "The answer's simple," Gus replied. "I'm a tramp. I've had things hard my whole life. What I guess you could say is, I'm used to going through hardships."
Bright and early for the day